You're gonna be interested in this, Brad. So like as tough as you and me think that this division is gonna be, it seems like the NFL world is a little bit down on the NFC West, even though they just sent 2 playoff teams last year, including the Super Bowl team, the quote unquote Super Bowl team, because it should have been the Saints. But
Right.
yeah, man. So anyway, let's move it to the Rams. They're next. Over under, Brad, 10 wins for the Rams.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to give them the over. I like their coaching and I like their defense. I think Aaron Donald is something special, and I think that 11 is more likely than 9.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, I think this is a push. I think they're 10-6 this year. I think they have a little bit of a hangover. I'm a little bit concerned about Gurley. They didn't play anybody this week. They didn't play any of the receivers. Woods, Cooks, and Kupp were out. Goff was out. Gurley was out. The big question for me is how good or how healthy is Gurley? When they drafted Darrell Henderson out of Memphis this year, I was like, oh man, I've seen Darrell Henderson. I've seen tape on him. I watched him in college quite a bit because Brad, you and I are UCF alum. So, UCF plays Memphis, 1 to 2 times a year, depending on how the conference shakes out. So, I liked Darrell Henderson. I saw him this week, man. He did not look good. And, it's funny. So these running backs, right? These heralded running backs that come out of college, sometimes you see a guy average like 5 or 6 yards. A perfect example is Reggie Bush, right? Electric at USC. He gets in the NFL and he starts doing this dancing crap when he gets drafted by the Saints.
It's a different game.
They're
man.
too fast,
right.
man. They're too fast. So Henderson looked to me really hesitant to hit the whole. Like you don't have. You have to go 0 to 60 as a running back, and if you have vision, great. Cut it back, 1 step and cut and go up. You can't be really patient unless you're like a Le'Veon Bell and you're so good at being patient that
that's
Darrell Henderson is not Le'Veon Bell. He is not Todd Gurley. I'm worried if Todd Gurley isn't healthy. So, like I say, I think it's a push, but 10 wins for a returning Super Bowl team. I think that if I have to pick one or the other, I would pick the over. Which we do on this podcast, right? We make bold predictions. So I'm going to take the over. But, man, Gurley's got to be okay. I think Kupp, coming off his ACL from last year, is going to have a great season. I think he's going to be the best wide receiver in this offense. He was on that track last year, believe it or not, before he blew his knee out. Cooks, look, man, I like Cooks. I like Woods. I think all 3 of these receivers, and I think they're like all 3 in the top 20 to 25 for me at the receiver position in fantasy. They're all going to be
great,
ownable.
Man.
For me, I like Kupp because I think he's really what makes this offense go. And because the Rams have not really found that tight end, that Jordan Reed-like guy, that Travis Kelce type guy. I say Jordan Reed because back in the day, McVay had him in Washington when he was the offensive coordinator. They haven't found that kind of guy. Cooper Kupp is that guy. So he's a receiver, and he's that guy that runs the seam routes, the guy that runs the deep fade or the deep I can't think of it. It's not the post. It's the other one. It's not a cross.
The button hook.
Yeah, the button hook. Anyway, he's the guy that runs. Yeah, it's not a fade, but it's something. I can't think of it.
The Cooper Kupp,
flag.
man.
The flag route. He runs the flag route.
Cooper Kupp sounds like some baseball player from the 1920s.
It sounds like something I would wear as a baseball player.
Yeah, that's such an interesting name, man.
Cooper Kupp and his uncle Jock Strap.
We got to take a vote for our viewers to send in all-time best football names.
Ooh, yeah.
Teddy Bruschi would be one.
Teddy Bruschi
is a powerhouse or
that's
what?
That's a good name. I like, man, Mike Ditka is a good name, but I think it's
Mike
just because
Ditka
he made
is
it.
Good football name.
Who's that, like Dick Butkus? That's the name.
Yeah.
There's nothing getting better than
Jesus,
Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus. That's an all-timer for the history of mankind.
That is
just football.
That is.
Good God. What is it? It's probably a good thing for him that he grew up to be a wild animal. Otherwise, he would have just been tormented.
I know. Can you imagine like getting your taxes done by Dick Butkus?
That's fantastic.
He sounds like a toilet cleaner.
Oh my God, he's like Brock Landers or Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Diggler. That's an all-time name too. Dirk Diggler.
Yep.
Oh my
Dick
goodness.
Diggler.